between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
Pac-Man. 280. Trey 15. Trey 15.
Wentz now on first down. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Miles Sanders first carry of the game. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And unable to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
We got this.
At their own 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Hey, Orbit.
Mike, 27. It's coming this way, Here we go,
To throw, it's Carr. Completes it to Dixon. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Carr completes it. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
47 to Mike, boy, 47. Check, 47. He can't hang.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr. Thomas has got it. Complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 12 yards there and a first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, he'll have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now,
got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas with touchdown number 12 on the year. And they're able to strike first here on their opening drive. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Where we go? 46 down, man, 5-4. Hey, exit.
To throw is Wentz. This one complete to Smallwood. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, Charlie.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards and a first down for Philly.
First down, Eagles.
Here we go.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47.
57. Hey, Delta.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 44, Wentz. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they try to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down. A first update now from Cleveland. That is now a 2-touchdown game with the Steelers in the driver's seat. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Hey, box truck.
You don't want 51, Mike.
1482.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals, and if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
From midfield, here's Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
Set, baby.
Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So possession 1 ended in 6. Possession 2 likely going to end in a punt.
Yeah, that's okay. They just got to get back to what they worked on in the opening drive and continue to make a few adjustments along the way. It won't be exact because the defense will make a few adjustments themselves. Just get back to your game plan.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Second and 5 now. Wentz, he sets to fire deep. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. First quarter. And now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now after the INT, it's Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. The 20. And it's incomplete to Smith. That one goes for 36 yards. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Now, check, check. Watch it before. Watch it before. Don't get nervous.
On 1st down, Carr. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. From the 27, Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. K1 short in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Shotgun now for Wentz. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Cameron Jordan, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken at the 46. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10.
Now! 180! 180! We're good, we're good! 180! 180!
Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Carr. Flush to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
47 Mike, 47 Mike. Mike 808. Get the ball. Easy, kill. 47 to Mike. Check the tight end, check the tight.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers? It's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And he'll get this one up to the 26. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Alex Anzalone make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Carr now to throw. And he's going to go down again. Bradley Chubb in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here comes the Saints punter now. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
81.
They'll give the Smallwood out of the gun. 8 yards on the run there, and that trims it to a 3rd and 11 coming up.
A gain of 8 yards. And it's 3rd down.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Wentz going to throw. He's going to look. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. The end result, 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
At the Eagles' 5-yard line.
They'll come out in the pistol. Geis alone in the backfield here. Second and goal.
6 guys. Check 6. 93. 93.
Carr going to throw. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Third touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz with the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Dancing to his left. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Steps away to his left. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Second quarter in Cleveland. That is now a 2-touchdown game with the Steelers in the driver's seat. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy.
He's got a man complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. T.J. Green with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Carr. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53.
To throw again. Carr. Looking again for Thomas. This time complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now a run with Geis. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 10 yards, good for his Saints first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
It's caught. Smith. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they just...
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 38, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
White Monday down.
Throwing again. Carr. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Go, go. 47's the mic, boys, 47. Check, 47. I want that. Give me that ball, defense.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that is incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A good run there to start the drive. 13 yards, 1st down. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Philadelphia. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Tackle there by Alex Anzalone. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From midfield, here's Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. This one complete to Smallwood. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 3rd down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup. They'll run on first down. It's Sanders. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Another run here with Sanders. And he is going to lose yardage here.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Throwing is Wentz. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I'll just figure there's something wrong with the football.
Flushed out right. And he's going to keep it here. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Switch up.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now Wentz. And my goodness, another interception. T.J. Green with a pick. And his guys are going to have the football back as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Traquan Smith, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. And the incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Carr. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get him. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Looking long for Thomas. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The Saints on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day. 47.
From the gun, it's Carr. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
'47's the mic.
Carr now on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D. 47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Easy. Kill.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
On 3rd down, Carr. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Now Wentz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. K1 short. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Now they go screen. It's complete. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Man 5-7.
51's the mic.
Hey, exit.
The Eagles indeed snap it. Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, Charlie.
Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 51. I'm coming.
Working from the gun. Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wentz looking deep for his tight end Ertz. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And now here's another interception. He's picked off at his own 47. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Throwing on 1st is Wentz. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And gets by him, and now a little daylight. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Carr gonna throw here. Thomas has got it. Complete. 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Kamara. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Following the penalty, it's Geis, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
A gain of 5. It's 4th down.